You're listening to PetLifeRadio.com.
Hello and welcome to Six Figure Dog Business on PetLifeRadio.com. Now, I'm your host, Ty Brown of TyTheDogGuy.com, and this is the show where we help you start or grow your pet-related business to a healthy six-figure per year or more income. Now, today's show is going to be a good one. It's got us going outside of the pet world to find an expert who went from zero to $1 million in sales in less than 12 months, starting out without a list, without a product, without a name, without an offer. So stay right with us. We're going to be right back with Heather Havenwood.
Sit. Stay. We'll be right back after a short pause.
It's DesignerPetSweaters.com. Hand-knitted designer sweaters for your precious pup or cool cat. Beautiful couture patterns for your pets, including custom-knitted formal wear, casual wear, yachting, and even sports-themed. Many designer pet sweaters include feathered tammy hats, top hats, and a lot of sparkle. Each sweater includes leg loops, front paw sleeves, and leash opening. Visit DesignerPetSweaters.com to order your four-legged fashions today. Your pets will stay warm for the winter and be runway ready. Large or small, we fit them all. DesignerPetSweaters.com.
Let's talk pets on PetLifeRadio.com.
All right, folks, welcome to today's show. I'm super excited because, like I say, on the show, as you know, we often have a lot of pet-related experts, and I love going outside of our field because it's great to see perspective from people that aren't selling dog training and pet sitting and stuff like that. So today we've got Heather Havenwood. So first off, welcome to the show, Heather. Thanks for being on.
Thank you, Ty.
And before we get into the meat of this story, and that's where I want to spend our time today, give us some background. Who are you? What's your background? Who's Heather Havenwood?
Well, first of all, the most important thing is I'm a dog lover, right? So I got to get that out of the way because I'm a huge dog lover and my dog is my child. So huge dog lover. But honestly, you know, I've been in the information marketing business for 15 years. I got started way back in the day in 2001. Believe it or not, I have a master's degree in online digital marketing from Full Sail University, which is crazy. But basically my whole entire life has been in the world of selling information or selling information online or offline, right? And so I have multiple years experience in that. And what people ask me, what do you do? It's always kind of this weird question, right? Because it's like I take information and knowledge out of people's heads and be able to create it in such a way that can leverage their time and sell it online. Now, back in the day, online in 2001, it wasn't really that big. So I did it in seminars, right? You drive somewhere. Park, you pull up, you go to a room and with a bunch of tables and then you start selling people. So really in the world of sales, it's all the same, right? Presentation in front of a room, presentation online. It's all the same strategy and it's all the same principles, marketing and sales, converting. So that's really who I am, what I do.
What were you selling back then in 2001 in seminars?
I was selling real estate investing. So if you saw the infomercials, like, do you want to control your life? Do you want to own a business and buy and sell real estate? Come to the seminar, 1 o'clock tomorrow, you know, like that. That was, you'd find me and the people that I worked with. And yeah, so I did that for about 7 years. I traveled the country. And it's really interesting, Ty, because you learn sales quickly when you're looking at someone's eyes, not behind a screen. Like you're looking at their eyes, their body language, and you're asking them for $3,000 at the time. That was and like they get all like weird. And so you actually have to learn, one, how to ask for that money, you know, for yourself. And then you have to learn how to do it in such a way that they feel like completely elated and excited to give you $3,000. So it was a skill set I'm glad I learned. And now I just take that skill set and put it online.
That's awesome. Who was the personality that you were selling? Whose program?
Multiple personalities. I mean, that sounds bad. Multiple personalities. Let's put that back. It was multiple people. So me, myself, I had my own products. I worked for a company called Dynatech. They had things called like Forex Made Easy. They had Ron LeGrand, Robert Allen. I mean, on and on it goes. Yeah, there was a ton of companies that I worked for that we represented the personality.
Yeah, so way back in 1998, I was 17 going on 18, and I got a job in a call center selling your leads.
So were you Robert Allen Institute one? Because
we were Russ Whitney, if you remember Russ Whitney.
Oh my, yeah. My counterparts worked for Russ. Did you live in Fort Myers by any chance?
No, here in I grew up in California, moved here to Utah when I was 17, and had to get a job to pay the rent. And so they thought I was in my 20s, and so I start selling this real estate stuff, and I have no idea what I'm even talking about.
Well, exactly. You and I were in different sides of it, right? So we would pull the leads in, and we didn't sell them. You got them, or vice versa. That's how it worked. Yeah, that's what we did.
Yep. Companies like yours would sell my company leads, and we would try to sell them big coaching packages. And it was the best sales. I'm like, so much rejection, so much. Yeah,
you learn rejection quickly. Yeah, when you walk into, for us, we traveled. So we'd walk into Ohio or Peoria, Illinois, or wherever we were. And we had 90 minutes to sell 100 strangers, hopefully, into a $3,000 product. In 90 minutes. I mean, it's like, click, click. You learn quickly to ask for the sale. You don't have much time. So, yeah.
But those are great. To this day, I still go to those presentations just to learn better sales stuff. Like I'll go to Robert Kiyosaki's when he comes into town and stuff. It's wonderful sales training to do it, but also to even observe it. So that's cool.
Yeah, you and I came from the same world, just different sides.
Yeah. It was fun. Well, I want to hear this story from you. And so let's kind of get into, let me give the audience the headline, which I already kind of did. But, you went from $0 to $1 million in sales in less than 12 months, starting without a list, without a product, without a big name in the industry, and without even an offer. So let's run through, how does that happen? Give me some details here.
Yeah, so a couple things at the stage of it, right? This is 2005, 6 at the time, and it was a guy who was in real estate investing, but, he was a guy that wasn't out there speaking in this, what we call speaking world. So in the world of information marketing, I'm just going to break it down for you. We have the people that do it, right? And then people that speak about it. Not always the same, by the way. Sometimes they stop doing and just teach, and there's a lot of negativity around that. But sometimes they do both. And this particular gentleman was like, hey, I do this all day long. I really know what I'm doing. I want to be out there teaching people. And so he first hired me as a consultant, and then we went into partnership together. He's like, hey, I don't know this whole world. I just know how to buy and sell houses, right? I don't know how to do all that stuff. And it really is a whole other world, when you get into how do you take the knowledge and information out of one's head and put it in a place where people actually want to give you, $100 or $2,000 or $4,000 to educate them in a skill set. And what's interesting about real estate investing specifically is that you think, no one teaches that stuff. No, you don't go through college or high school. I don't care if you go to Yale. No one teaches that stuff. So it's this kind of unique education experience. So I said, okay, well, I created, he had no name. He had no list. He had no website. He didn't have any of that. And so I had to create all that. And we went from $0 to $1 million in the first year alone. And that business is still running today. And so it took something because we had to take this no-name dude, basically, and create a story, not story meaning like truth, but, as in essence, a brand around him, such that people go, hey, this guy knows what he's doing. I'm going to buy from him versus Robert Allen Institute or Carlton Sheets or Russ Whitney, all the other ones that are out there. And it's a really interesting way to say, hey, how do I put myself out there when everyone's teaching real estate investing or dog training or whatever? It doesn't matter. There's tons of books and stuff like that out there. How do I make it so that I'm unique? I'm the king of the industry and people pay me thousands of dollars to train my dog or teach me how to buy and sell a house. How does that work? And so it's part of that process. So in a lot of what we did was affiliate training, right? Affiliate listing. Other people had lists and we would swap or we would sell to their list for a percentage of sales, kind of the same thing you were talking about, pushed our product to their list and they made a percentage on what we made, right? So that's called affiliate marketing. That's pretty much how we built from $0 to $1 million in the first year because he had nothing. He had no list.
Awesome. And so what I want to do is I want to kind of pull out some aspects of this story.
Sure.
And I kind of want to go through the history of, all right, here's one of the first things I did, here's one of the second things I did, and then kind of compare it to how we can or figure out how we can compare that to, let's say, a dog trainer, just because I know a big amount of people that listen are dog trainers. And so here you have a guy, and essentially his asset was, I know how to do something. Yeah. He didn't have a storefront. He didn't have an email list. He didn't have a website. He just had, I know how to do something. And so this resonates obviously with our audience quite a bit. It's dog trainers and pet sitters and dog walkers and I know how to do this very, very well. But he didn't have a way to package that information into a product, into a program. So talking to this dog trainer, with your experience with this gentleman, what's the first thing you're telling that dog trainer to do?
Okay, so let's break it down for a second. So with this particular gentleman that I worked with, what he taught or what he knew how to do is he knew how to teach a skill set to have people, what I call make money, which what that really is teaching people freedom, because what people are buying is freedom, and with freedom comes self-confidence, and self-confidence comes different things, mindset, life, having a great life, happy life, okay? So in the world of dog training, what I would be selling is freedom. Right. Freedom from the experience with their current pet, which we all know. I mean, at least my experience of dog training is that the dog trainer really is a human trainer on how to deal with a dog. Right. So my experience, it's like it's really training. The dog trainer really just teaches me how to deal with the animal. Right. Because the animal's like, just dealing with how you do things. The same thing with the real estate investing, that we taught people how to deal with the current laws in the thing called real estate investing. We just taught them how to deal with it so that they got freedom for their lives. And that's what you would do. That's what I would do if I was dealing with the dog trainers. How can they sell information such that basically the client gets freedom from something? That's what I would start with.
So what I'm hearing is, what obviously might be termed like positioning or something.
It's not really positioning. It's what are you selling? I mean, that goes deeper, right? Because positioning is like, how you look and feel. What's the dog trainer, the big guy's name? I forget his name. The dog whisperer.
Oh, Cesar Millan?
Yeah, Cesar Millan. He's got a particular, and sorry if I don't know his name, I apologize. But he's got a particular positioning and brand around him. But I know there's other people that are as good as him, right? Or as better, or maybe possibly better teachers. And they're going, why can't I be like him? Like, what made him so special? It's because he has someone like me going, this is what it's going to be. We're going to position you this way, and then people are going to listen to you, and they're going to have you on publicity because we can tie this into human behavior. And when you understand this, you're going to have freedom from something. And that's what I want you to get is like you have to get clear what the heck you're selling first before you can position it.
And I think this is so important for people to understand, and I think our industry sometimes can be lacking with this, myself included. But I see a lot of folks that what they're selling, you go to their website, and what they're selling is, look, here in 6 weeks, your dog's going to sit, and your dog's going to lie down, and your dog's going to, these are good things, right? And that's what they're selling. But what the person is wanting is something else. The person's wanting their problem solved. They're wanting the freedom. And so, I always tell people, no one woke up this morning saying, gosh, I wish I could go find 6 group classes of dog training. Right. No one woke up saying that, but someone did wake up saying, oh my gosh, my dog crapped on the rug again. I need someone to fix this. Right. I need the freedom from worrying about this, or the freedom of being able to take my dog off leash to the park without him running off. And so I often feel that dog trainers and pet sitters and dog walkers are speaking a different language. They're talking about, here's what I can do. And the owner is talking about, here's kind of here's the feelings that I want. Here's the emotions that I want.
Yeah. So the question would be like, what's the frustration? I mean, you knew this in sales, right? When you're on the phone with this lead, it's like, why were they even going to this event? I mean, why were they, maybe they're an engineer, maybe they're a current, what's interesting about real estate investing specifically is the average age, it's a white male between the ages of 40 and 60, and they're educated, right? So it was like, why in the heck are they sitting in a seminar about real estate investing? They want freedom from something. If they think it's going to provide, doing this skill, it's going to provide freedom for a release of stress, providing family, whatever, debt, whatever it is, there's some kind of frustration that's on their back that going to this event is going to free that up. You have to treat like that same way in dog training. If I have a dog and I'm trying to live my life and I got kids and all this and the dog's doing something that crapping on the floor or whatever it is, I want freedom from this problem. And I don't want to get rid of the dog, right? Because then I don't want that issue with the family. But I just want to have a great dog because I have to deal with the dog. You know what I mean? It's the freedom from dealing with, that's what they're ultimately selling.
Yeah, and if I imagine if in your seminar, if you're like, all right, here's what we're going to sell you guys. It's a workbook and it's a CD course and it's some, no one cares about that. They want the freedom. They don't care about the stuff. Ultimately they care because they got to pull out their checkbook. But really what they care about is in this case, the freedom. So to kind of encapsulate what I think I'm hearing, us dog trainers, pet sitters, dog walkers, groomers need to actually, even dog grooming, you're not selling dog grooming. You're selling somebody's time back. You're selling that they don't have to do it. And that they can just drop the dog off and pick it up. I think it becomes, we have to be very clear about what we're selling. And that's what I'm hearing from you.
I have to say for myself, I'm a dog lover, obviously, and I have my dog. And I can't tell you how many times, I mean this in the most loving way, in my experience with groomers and like that, they really are bad at selling. I'll call them hey, I really need this. And they're like, we're busy. And I'm like,
yep.
dude, where is your sales 101, people? Like, did you write my name down? Are you going to call me back when you're not? Like, are you going to get my information? No, they just hung up on me. I mean, because I'm dealing with this right now. I have an older dog. She's like 12, 13, and I'm nervous about taking her to a groomer. They're sometimes rough with her, and I really want to sit there and watch it just because she's got bad hips and all that. And so I thought, okay, I'll have one come to me, like the little, and I called like 4 or 5. I live in Austin, by the way. And they all were like, yeah, we're busy. Yeah, like they answer their phone. I was like, where's the basics? Like, it's about, if you're great with dogs and you understand dogs and the behavior of an animal, then you understand what they want, right? What they want love and they want attention, and they will act out if they don't get this, right? Same thing with human beings. Right. That's sales. Sales is attention and loving. And like, we thank you so much for calling us. We just would love to work with you. And like, I can't get you in for 3 weeks. And let me get your number so I can call you if something opens up. Okay. I love you now. Right. It's all about loving and figuring out what you're really selling. What you're selling is freedom for the client. And you've got to get real on what you're selling. If you don't, what's going to happen, it's like a burden. Clients are going to feel like a burden to you if you don't get clear on what you're selling.
And that's when burnout comes, and there's so many other like ancillary problems that come if you're not identifying what you're selling. That's awesome. I really hope, because this is so critical for our industry to understand, and so often overlooked. They want to get that website. Here's what we do. Here's this. There's this, and they haven't taken the a moment to stop and think what that person actually wants to buy.
Right. They really don't. I mean, I've gone to a groomer, in the last couple of years. I'm not going to them now. I have not gotten, by the way, I've gotten zero communication from them. I've gone to them like 4 or 5 times, right? Because they're just nearby. No email marketing, nothing. No mail. I mean, of course, no mail, no phone calls, nothing. I've been there in 5 years and I haven't moved and they haven't moved. And so it's just like, there's something about, you can come to us, you need us, and we don't need you. Like, they love the dog, but they don't want to deal with a human being. And I actually got that feeling like, okay, great. We love your dog. He's adorable. But like, you as a human being, can you just give us your credit card and move on? Exactly. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I say that the most loving way because I'm a dog person. I get it. But you're in a business, right? And a business is about the product, which is taking care of their love of their life, which is their animal. But it's also about feeling like when they're at work or when they're wherever, feeling like, okay, my dog is secure, it's happy, it's not upset right now, it's getting beautified, whatever it is, or it's getting trained, whatever it is. And they want to feel that they made the right decision for their baby, like a child. I mean, that's, for me, that's how I see my animal.
Awesome. So I want to get deeper into what you would do or what you would recommend based on what you have done. But first, I want to take a quick break. Stay with us, folks. We're going to come right back with Heather Havenwood.
Sit. Stay. We'll be right back after a short pause.
My golden retriever, Sundance, is a lot more playful now. She has more pep and energy.
Tons of energy. Happy the rescue dog is happy the healthy dog.
Petey is having fun again. He's got a shiny coat and a good healthy weight.
Molly's been having 4 scoops a day. She pushes her little bowl all the way across the room, emptying every last single crumb. She has slimmed down and gotten this puppy look.
She's got life. She's got energy.
We get asked all the time when we're at shows, how do you get your dog so healthy and shiny and glossy?
DINOVITE.com.
859-428-1000.
The omega-3 fatty acids.
Flaxseed, zinc, alfalfa.
The digestive enzymes that are cooked out of regular dog food.
Dinovite is nutrition.
Just feed your dog right.
Do the Dinovite.
859-428-1000.
859-428-1000. Dinovite for life.
DINOVITE.com.
Hi, I'm Dana Humphrey, the founder of Whitegate PR. We have been specializing in PR and marketing in the pet industry for over 10 years. If you have a pet product or service you would like to promote, give us a call. We can help create awareness for your brand on TV, radio, magazines, newspapers, and blogs. Feel free to reach me directly at 619-414-9307 or learn more on our website at whitegatepr.com or follow us on Facebook.
Let's talk pets.
Let's talk pets
On Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com.
All right, we're back, and we're talking with Heather Havenwood, and she's talking and telling us the story about how she was able to take a business from 0 to 7 figures in less than a year without a list, without a product, without a name in the industry. So we spent a lot of time talking. I'm glad we have, because if that's all any person pulled out of this interview, I would be thrilled, to really nail down what it is you're selling and what people want to buy. But what's next? You've determined what they want to buy. What's next?
Well, cross-marketing. Let's just go there. So if I started a business today in Austin, anywhere in the dog world, the first thing I would do is I would actually go to any business that's not mine, right? So if I was doing grooming, I would go to local pet training. I would go to pet supplies, whatever, local, because there's a lot of small local here in Austin. And I would say, hey, I want to cross-promote. I would do an affiliate deal with them. Like, can I email your list and say, hey, there's this new groomer in town, and anybody that comes to me, I'll get you whatever, a referral fee or an affiliate link. You do affiliate links through internet marketing now. So you could track that. So it's trackable, right? But here's the problem you're going to come up with, I'm guessing, is that if I go to the local pet store, there's one down the street from me here in South Austin, they don't have a list.
Yeah, typically they don't.
And so I'd say all this, is great, but it won't make a difference, because my question to everyone listening is, are you building a list? Are you building an email list? Do you can you log in somewhere and see every single customer that has come through your doors, quote unquote, in the last year and a half, 2 years, 3 years? The answer probably is no. If you're not doing that, then you don't have a business. That's how I look at it, because your business is only as good as your customer base. And if you don't understand what your customer base is, you just rely on them to show up, forget it. Really,
well, like you mentioned with your groomer, he could be having repeat business from you. Let's say he was keeping in touch with you like he should, and you're coming in 6 times a year. I mean, there's $600 a year, there's $500 a year that he's missing out on because he's not keeping in touch with you because he doesn't have a list.
Right. There's no referral program. Like, I have another dog, a small dog that's younger and needs to get, clipped all the time. And I don't get any kind of, hey, you've been here in 3 months. Here's a 10% discount or whatever, or here's come in now for the next week and we'll give you an extra nail clipping, whatever it is. They're not encouraging any repeat business. Now, I will say I live in Austin, and the problem with Austin right now is that there's a ton of people moving here and businesses are overwhelmed and they have too much business, which is just weird. So if you want to start a dog business in Austin, you'll be full of business in 5 minutes because there's just not enough to fill the need. But at the end of the day, it's still customer service on just a little level. I'm not even asking going high-end advanced marketing here. I'm talking basic conversation. If you get a customer in, continue the conversation. And that could just be a simple email marketing. Now, I believe in businesses should be emailing once a day. Now, I know people are like, what? So I'm just going to calm that back. But at least twice a month, with some kind of communication about what's going on, or, a highlight of the dog of the week or month or whatever it is, some kind of communication. My vet is actually really good at that, but everything else is not.
Gotcha. So you email your list once a day?
Yeah, I email my list once a day. I also run a weight loss company, a local weight loss company, a brick and mortar, right? So we do about once a day with that as well. Mainly because we're highlighting, ours is a weight loss, so we're highlighting our clients' weight loss, and they're losing weight and they're feeling good and newest product out and whatever. I mean, we're constantly in communication with them because we want them top of mind. We want top of mind all the time.
Well, in fact, for listeners, I did a podcast on this a few podcasts ago on the email marketing that I do, because I'm up to emailing twice a week. I've thought about getting to that once a day. I follow Ben Settle. I don't know if you know Ben Settle.
Yeah, I love Ben Settle. Once a day. Yep.
Gotcha. So I've been thinking about getting to that once a day, and I'm a little nervous, a little scared of doing that. But obviously, you find that it works. How many unsubscribes do you get? What's your unsubscribe rate?
I don't even look at that, to be honest, because here's why. When I first got started, I looked at that. I'm like, oh my God, you left me. I was freaking out, And I really learned quickly from someone, a mentor of mine. I don't remember who it wasn't Ben Settle specifically, but it was somebody saying you can't look at that one. You just can't look at it. Let it go.
You got to look at sales.
You got to look at sales. But also, if they leave, then they're not a customer. It's fine. Let them go. It's fine. Thank you for being on my list and have a great day. Send them love. So I just stopped looking at that. With technology where we're at today, okay, we are constantly inundated. Constantly. Okay. can't figure that out yet. We're constantly inundated. So to be able to be a business at top of mind, you have to be just the same or about that. You have to constantly be in communication. And if they don't want you, they'll unsubscribe. They're like, I no longer have my dog, or like, I just don't have that. I want that, didn't need more, or I moved, or whatever. But most people, right, if you're a local business and they don't need you right away, they won't unsubscribe. They just like, well, I don't need it right now. Like, well, you know, when he emails me in 2 weeks, I'm like, oh yeah, I need that again, right? So it's about being in front of the customer consistently. It's like you don't look at the billboard and go, okay, billboard, now you need to take that down Monday through Friday and then come back up. You know what I mean? Like, and I always make the laugh is, like, you don't turn on Fox News, or I'm a Fox News girl, CNN, or whatever your thing is, and go, okay, for 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. every morning, we're going to do no commercials. You know,
exactly.
It's never going to happen. So why would you do the same thing to your business? Why would
Gotcha. No, that's a good way of looking at it. So I want to ask you about one more component of what you did, but just to summarize here. So the first thing you did was you nailed down exactly what it is you're selling.
Yeah.
Second thing that you did is you got yourself in front of your target audience by going to complementary businesses. And folks can do this even without email lists. You can go to your vet and you can do little seminars, or you can go to your groomer and you can get, you know, your materials in there. So there, even without the email list, there's a way to start this with cross promoting. Third thing you've mentioned is get that email list going so that you can stay in front of your people, which, like I say, I'm a huge proponent of. It's like the absolute cheapest marketing you can do. You get yourself an autoresponder and you stay in front of people, and eventually they'll buy or they'll leave, or they'll stay on there and will likely refer you, even if they never buy anything from you. All right, so we've identified, we've gotten in front of our audience through cross-promoting, we've got our email list. The last thing I want to talk about these last few minutes is how do we craft an offer? You know, how did you craft an offer? Because this guy is selling real estate knowledge. You could have turned that into a book that sold for $20. You could have turned that into a $20,000 mentoring course. Like,
right.
How do we know how to craft that offer?
Well, I mean, that's an entire seminar within itself, right?
Yeah.
But just in the world of like what I call a simple funnel, I'm just going to go really basic, is like you have information pamphlet, which is what I call low value. You're not really teaching, you're giving an overview. And then you have like a service of is I'll take your animal and I will train it. And then what you get back is this amazing animal kind of thing. You give it to me, I have it for 6 weeks or whatever, and then off you go. And then the next level is I'm not only going to train the dog, I'm going to train you and the dog. Like I'm going to be mentoring the family, and that's another level. And then on top of that is like I'm not only going to mentor the dog and you, I'm going to teach you how to be a great trainer for future dogs. I mean, that's another level. I've never had any trainer say that to me. Like, I'm not only going to train you and the dog, I'm going to train you how to be an amazing trainer. Like, oh, that's awesome, right? So, because I'll probably have another dog in my life, right? So that's a higher price point. The point I'm trying to make is from low dollar to high dollar in funnels, just like you see that with coaching models. You can do the same thing with any kind of business, right? Here's a great example, the grooming. I would love if they had an option like, hey, for, I'm making this up, $20 or $50 or $80 a month, recurring, you're on a monthly membership with us, you get, 12 grooming and this, they give me some package. This is one off. And I never got a discount. I went there like 5 or 6 times. I never got a thank you for coming back, give you a bone discount. Like something like that would be really great to create an offer to encourage a repeat business, but also move them into a membership or a long-term client. And that's what offer is really about, is moving people from know, like, and trust, who the heck are you, what do you do, to, oh my God, I'm going to be with you for a long period of time. That's what really an offer is about, moving them down the chain.
Yeah, in fact, I'm glad you mentioned that, because we're doing renovations. We're moving into a new 12,000 square foot facility, my business is, and we've never offered grooming. But we're going to start offering grooming, and we're not going to offer it as a one-off. It's going to be only a membership-style grooming. You pay X amount per month, and you get X amount of baths and brushes, and you get X amount of this. We'll have different tiers and stuff like that. So yeah, you're kind of confirming what I thought was a good idea. Hopefully, it's a good idea. We'll have to see. So
yeah, that sounds like a good idea. But that's part of the offer, is moving people in. So like, yeah, with the gentleman I worked with, and still, I mean, I do this myself, is start off with, they call it a free offer, a free trial, or a taste for who you are. Like you can go to my website, HeatherHavenwood.com, and opt in. I give you a taste of who I am, all the way up to working with me one-on-one, right? So that's a higher price point. And then all the way to me actually doing the work for you. That's a higher price point. That's taking you down the line of what my services are, right? for the more high touch, the more high price, right? So that's how that goes. And why are you not doing that with your business today? You can do that in training as well.
Exactly. Awesome. This has been some amazing information. So you mentioned if folks can get on your list or learn more about you, what's the best way to do that?
They can go to heatherhavenwood.com and they opt in. They get 3 free chapters of my audiobook, Sexy Boss Inc., which is basically about my story and how I kind of went through this in my business myself. So you can check that out. Or if you're interested in working with me, like, hey, I want to work with you one-on-one, Heather, just go to heatherhavenwood.com and the upper right-hand side says work with Heather. Click on that and have a conversation.
That's awesome. Awesome. Well, thanks, folks, for listening today. I encourage you to head over to PetLifeRadio.com, click on Six Figure Dog Business, and listen to all of our episodes. And then while you're there, listen to all the other shows because there's a ton of amazing shows on Pet Life Radio. Huge thank you to Heather today for being with us, and we can't wait to talk to you on our next podcast here. Talk to you soon.
Let's Talk Pets, every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.